Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Screening Room Podcast. This is your host, Mike, joined by my co host, Evan.
What's up, everyone?
And today we're going to be reviewing the 2007 movie Transformers, directed by Michael Bay.
It really does suck that Michael Bay may have peaked in 2007, but here we are. This movie, I would say it's definitely what made Transformers like mainstream. I wouldn't consider myself like a Transformers fan by any means. Um, I've only seen the first two Michael Bay ones, and I've seen the latest like Transformers 1 animated movie with Chris Hemsworth. But this movie is still like it's very if you grew up in the 2000s, like everyone knows about it. Very
Yeah.
very popular. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they've been around since the 80s, but this is definitely the modern rebrand for the Transformers. Like, this is their definitive look for 21st century Transformers.
yep,
Everything can get traced back to this movie from that point on. And I could tell you this much. I don't know if this movie could have been made in any other year. It's definitely an interesting movie. But it was made at such a specific time that I think it had all the right ingredients for the film to have been made at that specific point in time.
yeah. One of my favorite quotes from, and this is where I kind of sound like a douche, maybe, but I don't remember who the quote was from or what the context of the quote was, but I remember someone said that movies, and I think they were specifically referring to Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest with Davy Jones, but they were basically saying that CGI looked like almost better in the early 2000s than it does now because back in the early 2000s studios didn't know how to cut corners with CGI, so they actually, like, not that they aren't trying now, but like they put more resources into CGI back then than they do now, which is why this movie
Yeah.
still looks as good as it does, as well as other movies from that time. um and I feel like that's almost, it both works in favor and does a disservice to the movie, because I feel like the CGI is really the best part of the movie. Like there's really,
Absolutely.
right, like when I think of the
Like, it's
movie, I don't think of the plot. Like I just remember something vague about Optimus Prime having to reunite something with some cube in some bunker. Like I don't think about that. I think about the really, the CGI spectacle. Basically, that's all that comes to mind.
yeah, like, and obviously another great aspect of it is the voice work to particularly Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. It was great seeing him reprise that role again. But as far as the human actors, I don't think I could name a single character other than Sam, who is played by Shia LaBeouf. Um, I can't name a single one of them off the top of my head, and I like just watched it before this review.
Right. And like I can name some of the actors, and like I think the other thing I know, it's like, also, I mean, it's going a little bit beyond this movie, but like this just kind of goes for like how mainstream these movies are, even if you haven't seen them. Like I said, I've only seen the first two, but I know, like, for example, Mark Wahlberg shows up later.
Yeah.
Um and I know that later on the movies became very infamous for like product placement. Like, wasn't one of them like,
I mean, even in this movie, there was a Mountain Dew transformer, so like,
right? And I feel like there was
it's
something with
there.
like,
It's still there.
yeah, well, and obviously there's all like the car marketing, and you could argue that
Oh
it's
yeah.
also like kind of military propaganda to some extent. Like, I don't, like, they're definitely trying to sell you on a bunch of different stuff, not to mention just the toys, like the Transformer
Oh
toy
yeah.
line. So I don't know. It definitely is like product placement, the movie, which, like, that can be done well. Like, I mean, hell, the Lego movie, which we just reviewed, what was that, or I think, yeah, that was last
Yeah, it was our
week's.
last review. Yep.
Yeah, that I think is like the gold standard of translating like a toy to a movie. Other good examples are like the 2023's Barbie. I think that did a good job at that. Um,
Yeah, that was good.
yeah, but This movie, like, it's mildly enjoyable. I mean, we'll get into like our specific ranking later, but I mean, honestly, and I was telling Mike this a bit before we started rolling the camera, but I honestly think that every time I rewatch this movie, it like it ranks steadily lower each time I rewatch it because like I feel like it just gets worse every time.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, like for me, when I rewatched it today, it was hard to sit through it until the Transformers got there. I'm not gonna lie. It was especially the beginning stuff with like all the high school slash college drama. It was so odd.
Yeah,
It was so odd at the beginning.
no, I remember I was like, I was watching it last night and I paused it to like go get a snack or something. And I looked at the runtime and we were like a third of the way through the runtime and not a single transformer at least like had transformed yet. Like we had obviously seen the
Yeah,
Camaro, but not in like Bumblebee form, you know what I mean? I was
yeah,
like, "Oh my god, we're already like that far in and nothing's happened." And I mean, I get that
yeah,
it's like the movie establishing everything, so like I get that you have to like world build or whatever, but at the
yeah,
same time, it's like, my god, for a movie
yeah,
that's like
and
called Transformers, like, I don't
yeah.
know.
And I know they're literally robots in disguise, but at the same time, like this is a minor gripe for me, but I feel like while the disguises are awesome, I don't know if those would be particularly great disguises as a transformer, because
Yeah.
like everyone's gonna see the giant pickup truck. Well, no, the cargo truck. I stand correct. The giant cargo truck with flames drawn on the sides. I think they're gonna notice
What?
that more than like a
No.
Honda like Fit or something. As a
No.
transformer. You know what I mean? Like I just it looks cool. It's
No.
the rule of cool. I'll give it a pass. It's the rule of cool. But for a movie where they're trying to blend in, it's a tough sell. But and then my other gripe too about that too is once they do exit their car, like the car form, they spend a lot of time not as cars. Like there's one bit in the movie, and there are going to be spoilers in this, just to preface that in case you want to go see Transformers 2007, now's your time. But there's one section where they're going out and they're like trying to sneak Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox into like his house to go grab some magic glasses.
Yeah.
And instead of turning into like cars and then parking, just parking, they're the giant like house-sized transformers wrecking their backyard, and like that's telling me that no one in that neighborhood got up and saw that.
Meanwhile,
Like
there's like
not
a
a
whole
single
bit.
soul.
Meanwhile, there's a whole bit going on in the background where the mom's asking Shia LaBeouf if he's been jerking off during the same
Oh God, yeah.
scene.
Like, see, like that's just not necessary to me in a Transformers movie. See, it'd be like that, and then they'd cut to like that awesome scene in the desert where they're fighting the Decepticon Scorpion.
Right?
It'd be like that bizarre tonal writing to shifting to something like an actually good scene like that. I thought that was actually a really cool scene. The Scorpion scene, that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But then they cut back to more like high school shenanigans, and it just that doesn't sell for me.
Right. Like I agree that like the war scenes like out in the desert. I did like those, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I can sort of justify some of the high school stuff towards the beginning. I mean, I think the extent of it was a little much, but I understand that we
yeah,
needed that setting for like Shia LaBeouf to meet Megan Fox, and then for that to like translate to he's presumably 16, getting his first car, right? And
yeah,
that
yeah,
there has to be that setup for him to get the car that turns out to be Bumblebee. So I mean, I get that,
yeah,
but like when we keep going back to that, that's where I'm like, like maybe we don't need to. Like for example, if you were to look at
yeah,
the 2002 Spider-Man film, like the school stuff takes place in the beginning and then they don't really
yep.
circle back to it.
Yeah,
Um
and for me, I wouldn't mind it as much if it wasn't as like cartoony, if that makes any sense.
Right, like it doesn't
Like
really
it just it
serve plot relevance beyond the opening.
Yeah, and it's like I think it's trying to be funny, but it didn't work. Like that one bit when Shia LaBeouf and his buddy were going up to like first try to talk to Megan Fox, and the guy's grand plan is to like try to impress Megan Fox is to just climb a tree for no reason.
And hang upside
Like,
down, yeah.
yeah, like what's the plan there, man? What's the plan?
I don't know.
It's like it felt like it had a lot of potential. One thing I will say is that the other Transformers movie with Haley Steinfeld, where they did a similar situation, I think that was a little bit better in the sense it was more subtle and it wasn't as outlandish as the Michael Bay one, which is no offense to Michael Bay, but that's a little hard for Michael Bay to do, is to not have some little bit of like zany elements tossed in there in his action movies, particularly the Transformer movies.
Yeah. Michael Bay knew what he was doing. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
Um,
and there was a couple other things that I think definitely didn't age well. First off, some of the dialogue wasn't great. Like, look, I have not served, but I am not quite familiar with the term battle groups or battle troops. They said that a couple times in the movie. I don't know if that's a real thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have never heard that before.
I know a guy
I
who's in the
haven't heard
Marines.
that
I
as
can
sentence.
I can get that fact checked.
Yeah, please let me know. And then maybe I'm leaning a little too far into this, but like in the first act to like the second act, it was kind of like a little bit racist too for some of it. There were like a lot of like very specific Latino jokes in that, like in the first section, like with and then even after the Scorpion attack, the one Latino soldier was the only casualty. He was the only one who died. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Like there was that, and then there was another trend. Like there's a lot of weird grandma trends in this too. I note like when they first go to pick out the car,
Hmm.
and then when the Australian lady tries to go get like the extra recording done, that stops out at her buddy's house. That was another weird trend. Just a lot of weird like attempts at comedy that just have not aged well.
Right. And
And there's ways you can go about it aging well, because we like, again, another plug, but we did a Tropic Thunder review, and I think that's a movie that still like holds up really well
right, and that's
in
only 1 year
comparison.
younger than this one. So,
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Yeah, I do we know if Michael Bay wrote this one or did he just direct?
as far as I know, he directed. I don't know who wrote this one.
Okay. I'd be curious if he was also
Yeah,
responsible for that. Something tells me
because
no, but
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I got questions, Michael Bay. I got questions.
Right. Yeah. It's getting
Yeah.
into like James Cameron Avatar Way of Water territory. I mean, not
Oh,
quite
geez,
that
yeah,
bad, but I don't know. It's
yeah,
like I don't know. I mean, I will say though, as much as we're trashing Michael Bay, I will say it's kind of like what she said. Like, yeah, maybe it would make more sense for Optimus Prime to be like a sedan, but at the
yeah.
same
But it looks
time,
cool.
it looks
Yeah.
cool. And I mean, also, I would assume that he was following the toys. I mean, like I said, I'm not like
Oh yeah,
familiar.
yeah, yeah. No, he was. That was more just like a general Transformers gripe more than
Right,
anything. I
right.
will say the action in this film is actually really good. Like I like genuinely enjoyed the finale.
My
Like that
problem,
was actually really good.
it looks good, but the problem is I just don't buy into the emotional stakes because I just don't care enough. That's my problem with
Yeah,
it. Like it looks cool, but I
and
just don't
mhm.
care.
And yeah, and then to build off of that, like this is like a 2.5 hour movie. By the time the finale rolls around, we've known most of these characters for 2 hours. I didn't care if any of them lived or died in this movie. I'm gonna be
The
honest.
movie could have been like 20 minutes shorter. It could have been like 2 hours.
It could have, honestly, honestly.
And then that would have saved them budget with the CGI. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh,
like,
I'm gonna get into the CGI later. I have some
yeah.
trivia facts for that later, but the amount of work they did for the CGI is absolutely mind-boggling. I'm gonna shout out the all the CGI and VFX artists for this because wow, you guys did a good job.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's impressive, and I don't know if it's like a flex or just a commentary on the state of the industry today, but it's kind of crazy that like what they made was so good that it's still considered like some of the best CGI we've seen in 2026, like almost 20
Yeah, and
years
that
after this movie came out.
yeah, this movie is almost 20 years old and it's still beating stuff from nowadays. It's
Right.
insane.
It's yeah, no. I'm curious to see what you dug up for those facts because yeah, but did you have any final thoughts you wanted to get out before we dove into the trivia section?
Um, honestly, that's about it. I mean, there's just a lot of weird like slapstick events for like the subplot there, but I feel like this could have been an interesting story if they just streamlined it down to maybe like having Shia LaBeouf get his first car, have him be the main guy like it is set up, but maybe play more into like the family lineage. They addressed it in the movie, but then they kind of sidestepped from it a little bit. I feel like that could have been interesting
Right, they talked about what was
as
it, his great grandpa?
his like great grandfather. Yeah, his great
Yeah,
grandfather was the
like
guy who discovered Megatron. And I felt
right.
like they just brushed over that. Like that would have been an interesting way to bring it in.
Yeah. Yeah, that yeah, cuz then you could almost get into you could do almost like a chosen one kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah, or you could even have more like emotional setup. Maybe like let's say his like if they went that route, maybe his family was a line of mechanics or something, and this is his first car, but you know he's because he's been like so good with machines. Maybe that's how he's able to talk with Bumblebee, and he fixes Bumblebee's like
the
uh
voice thing.
speech box, the voice box, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how they bond or something. But we didn't get that. We got yeah, we got some other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead, we got
We
what
got
you're
him
seeing
going
on
on eBay.
screen.
Yeah, we got him listing everything on eBay.
Are you
Which
username
nothing wrong with listing on nothing.
ladiesman217?
Yeah, again, nothing wrong with listing on eBay. It's totally cool. Just I felt like those items should have played more of an emotional element into the plot
Right. It just
than
it felt more
they
like an
did.
obstacle than anything. Or maybe obstacle's not the right word, but
Yeah,
like a plot device kind of that didn't really have any
it felt like a
like
MacGuffin. That's what it did.
MacGuffin, yeah.
It felt like a MacGuffin, but it should have felt more personal, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I think that's what would have made it better if it felt more personal.
And like you said, I mean I feel like they tried to do that. I mean they made it very clear where they came from. It came from the great grandfather. That's how it got like the
Yeah,
engravings, and that's how they, tracked down Megatron and
yeah,
all that. I can see where they tried. I just feel like it could have been better. Which I know sounds
yeah, yeah.
like I don't know.
Like pretentious, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I felt like
Like maybe I'm
it
asking
could have
for
been
too much out of
an
my
interesting story.
yeah, maybe I'm asking for too much out
Yeah,
of my Toys to Life movie, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm asking too much for a movie where one of the main characters is a robot from space that turns into a truck.
Yeah,
But, something like that could have been nice.
right. Like it's one of those things where like I hate to be pretentious, but and like I'm very much one of those people that like will rate the movie or assess it based on like the type, like obviously Transformers is not going to be assessed in the same way that like The Godfather is. But even still, if we're basing this off of like Transformers level quality, I still wish that there was like a little bit more meat on the bone, you know what I mean?
Something.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
did you want to get into fun facts, or did you have any other
Yeah,
little?
I'm all set for the fun facts, but before I start, I did manage to find the budget and the box office for the film as well.
Oh yeah, kick it off.
So when I looked this up, this was pretty surprising, but it only had a budget of $150 million for this movie.
Oh really?
Um, yeah, right. But the box office was 700, uh, over $700 million globally, and it had a $319 million domestic box office. So it definitely made its money back. Um, and again, I can see why, because obviously Transformers are a beloved brand. They're characters that people have grown up with. It's an it's got great action in it. So with that alone, I could see why people would go pay to see the movie. I just wish the story elements were a little bit more developed, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
be curious to know like how many people back then saw it just because the CGI was unlike anything they had seen before. Like,
yeah,
I wonder if it almost had like that Avatar effect, you know what I mean? Like, obviously not to the extent of
maybe, yeah.
Avatar, but
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, and this was even before the first Iron Man movie. So this was before the idea of people in mech suits got popular.
right, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
and I wonder. I'd be curious. I mean, I'm assuming that data is like impossible to find, but I wonder how much of that 150 went towards the CGI and just rendering it.
gotta be a good. It's got to be a massive chunk of it.
Because like the computing power, like even besides like the artistry to pull it off, the computer power to actually render it. Like I don't. I'm assuming the movie. I can pull it up right now, but I'm assuming the movie
Yeah,
has like a 2K digital intermediate, which means they would have rendered it at 2K and then for the 4K
yeah,
probably upscaled it. But the
yeah.
computing
Well, they
power
had it in a
alone,
bunch of.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they had it in all sorts of premium formats. This is gonna like kickstart the trivia section, but this was also the fastest selling DVD of 2007 too. So this was like the most popular DVD at the time, um, which I think is a testament to how it stood. I mean, like we could say, we can argue about the quality of the story, but people liked it,
Yeah,
and I
according
can understand the reasons why.
no, for sure. According to IMDb, they did shoot it on 35 millimeter and then scanned it
Hmm.
digitally and then rendered it at 2K. So a little higher than
Yeah,
1080p. So the 4K is just an upscale from 2K. But still, the
yeah,
computing power is crazy. But they probably, I wonder how much they made on home video sales. Like you said, that the DVD was that.
yeah.
Wow. Because if they made seven, I wonder if like in total profits in like 2007, I wonder if they made like close to 1 billion. Just like combining
I think
DVD
they could have done
sales.
it.
You know what I
I think
mean?
they definitely have by now
By
they
now,
definitely have. I
yeah.
can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I don't know.
but yeah, some other trivia I found out too was the song at the very end, "What I've Done" by Linkin Park, was actually added into the movie due to a run-in with Megan Fox at one of their concerts, and they suggested that they put a song in the movie, and that's how that ended up getting in there.
Wow.
Which is the song I always think of whenever I hear Transformers, other than the theme song.
I think of the
Another
movie when I hear that song. Yeah, like I just
Yep.
I associate them
Yeah.
together. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was a good choice. Another fun fact they found was the Decepticon hologram, like the Mustache Man hologram that they used in like all the fighter jets and the cop car, was actually played by a serving MH3 pilot named Brian Reese, who was first noticed by Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg while piloting the helicopters for the movie. So they liked his job, him doing his job so much that they got him in as the hologram human
Oh,
for all the Decepticon stuff.
that's low key a flex. If you were that
Yeah,
guy.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And to
sick.
build off on some of that CGI we mentioned earlier too. So all of the Transformer models were so complex. It took over 38 hours just to fill a single frame of each shot. So if you're looking at like, I can't imagine how many hours were put in to just that fight scene with Megatron versus Optimus Prime alone, let alone all the stuff for the movie and the third act.
Right.
So that's absolutely mind-boggling. And I know we had mentioned eBay earlier, but another fun fact I found out was Ladies Man 2117 um, was originally going to be a nod to Michael Bay's birthday because he's born on February 17th. But it was found out that that was an actual username at the time.
Oh
So
God.
somewhere out there, there is a real Ladies Man 217 who I'm assuming was jumping for joy when he found out about this movie.
Oh yeah, he just had a
Um,
free, free,
oh my
free
God,
eBay
yeah.
plug.
Free eBay plug. Let's go eBay.
That's
Um,
awesome.
it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
I love eBay.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome. It's truly a great platform.
Yeah, we are in no ways dissing eBay. I use it all the time to get like
Yeah,
old Legos and whatever. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, eBay's awesome.
um, no, that's funny.
Anyway, yeah. So that was what I had for trivia today.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
I'm ready to give my final review on the film as well.
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, despite all of the massive gripes I have with the story, I liked the action. The voice acting was great, and I think that's honestly what carried the movie. I'm giving this 3 stars.
So I also gave it 3 stars. Um, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say that we haven't already
Yeah,
said. Because I mean, to put it bluntly, I agree. I think when I think of this movie, like I said, I just think of the spectacle. I don't think about
yeah,
any other. Like I don't think about the story. I don't like.
yeah,
It's the least memorable story you could possibly have for a blockbuster movie. I just
yeah.
think of big robots like doing cool action with
Big
Megan
robot
Fox.
fights.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
literally all I think of.
yeah. And I forget, like, it's been a hot minute, but like, she actually had some agency in this. Like, like that was a nice little, like, pleasant surprise, especially at the very end where she's trying to drive that giant car with Bumblebee on the back while he's using the minigun.
Oh
That
yeah,
was actually kind of cool.
yeah, no,
So I like that. Yeah, I was like
not
happy
just
that
a
she actually had
damsel in
some like
distress.
agency in this movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
like she actually did something. So that
yeah,
was nice.
yeah.
I will say though, I'm going to be honest, like at least 1 star in my review is purely because of the action. Like if it was without the CGI and the action, I don't think this movie would be nearly as good.
All
But
three of my stars are for the
anyway,
action. All
yeah,
three of them are
yeah,
for the action.
that's fair. That's fair.
If it wasn't for
But
the
yeah,
action, yeah,
so
that's it.
yeah, no, it's the action and the CGI and the
Some
voice acting.
casting
Those are my
choices.
3 stars right there.
Yep,
And the casting, yeah, the casting was pretty good.
yep,
Um, yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, so that's our official review.
Yeah, so I guess I mean that makes the math really easy. We're giving it an overall rating of a 3 out of 5. I almost said 3 out of 3. 3 out of 5. For
3 out of 5. That's a lot better.
yeah, yeah, 3 out of 3. My God, 3 out of
Oh my
5.
god.
It's I would say I can't even I don't even know if I'd say it's worth what would your verdict be? Like, is it worth watching if they haven't
Well,
already seen it?
if you, for me, I think this is a movie to put on if you have some buddies over and you want to watch something with cool action, but also laugh at the absurdity of some moments. Or this might be a little mean, but if you want to have like a nice movie on while you're doing something, I think this is the way to go.
You probably
This is
make
a
a fun
movie that I
drinking
feel
game
like,
out of it.
oh god, you could do a game purely by just how many times Shia LaBeouf screams in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'd be gone by the end of the movie. But
Oh my god.
I think it's great for that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good reason to put it on if you have some buddies over
Yeah.
or whatever. I think other than that, like I can't
Yeah.
recommend just sitting down on your own and be like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna watch. I know Transformers
It's
2007. Like,
it's a little tough to sit through.
yeah,
It's a little tough. But if you got like good company over, I think you'll be fine.
yeah. So yeah, with that said, overall review of 3 out of 5. And I would leave a little audio teaser for our next episode like normal, but I'd be breaking the first and second rule of this movie, so you'll just have to tune in next week for that. But with that all said, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out some of our other stuff. We've got, I will say, besides, we do have a separate bonus episode, not counting the one I just referenced or hinted at, I should say. On May 4th, you can expect a Star Wars ranking bonus episode. That one's probably going to be a little bit long. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I would imagine that'll be a bit of a longer episode. We'll see what ends up happening, but it'll be kind of like formatted like our initial our first podcast episode where we ranked
Yep.
our movies based on excitement. It'll kind of be like that. It'll be like a tier list thing. So stay tuned to that. I think Mike might be making a Darth Maul Shadow Lord video at some point this upcoming week too. So
Yep.
keep an eye out for that.
Yep. I'm going to try to get that up and running by either May 4th or May 5th.
Yeah,
Try to go in with National Star Wars Day or Revenge of the 5th. I'm going to shoot for May the 4th, but I'll see what I can do.
yeah. And then otherwise, that other episode I hinted at, that'll be next Friday. So a lot to look forward to. With that all said, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.